Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Soren Review. And today we're going to be reviewing the Kansas weekend. Now, in my previous videos, I said I was going to do a diecast review. I have decided to push all diecast reviews off till next week because we're going to do a review this week, top picks of the week, and then on Friday we're going to look at the Darlington paint schemes for this throwback weekend. So let's get started. First off, with the truck race, it was your standard truck race with Kyle Busch in it because Kyle Busch won. He led 59 laps. How surprising! However, it wouldn't be right to say that he didn't have challengers. It wasn't a straight out domination from Kyle Busch. Cars that, or trucks, I should say, two drivers that had a really good run was Sheldon Creed and John Hunter Nemechek. They both had really good runs, at least early on in the race. To challenge Kyle Busch, John Hunter Nemechek finishes fifth, and Sheldon Creed finishes pretty far back. He finishes 32nd. However, it's because he was racing. He hit the wall pretty hard, had a tire going down, had to pit, ended his day. Then at the end of this thing, right, the first two stages we went without caution. We had a few spins, but they were cautionless, right? Chase Purdy spun out. However, after the start of stage two, Carson Hocevar spun out. Genjo Cobb stalled, and then we kind of had this like one right after the other cautions where in our first overtime where Stuart Friesen and Derek Kraus crashed. So we had our final restart, and note that Kyle Busch on these restarts had in these last few restarts had fallen back. He was like the leader, and then he did not get a good start. And so the drivers really challenging him at the end were Austin Hill and Ross Chastain. Now Ross Chastain got his first career win here. He's always good here at Kansas. And he was leading, and along with Austin Hill, and on the last restart, Chastain was leading side by side with Austin Hill. He went up to block a huge run. I think might have even put Todd Gillen in the wall. That's who he was trying to block. Gillen finished sixth, by the way. And so Chastain and Austin Hill were side by side, and that allowed for Kyle Busch and the rest of the laps to close up. He ended up winning, passed him three wide, coming to the white flag. So Kyle Busch winning, it's a 61st career win. Toyota has still won every single truck race. How surprising! Not much to really talk about. I guess if you could look at notable finishers, maybe not finishers, but at least during the race, Bailey Curry was running for instead over was running for Brett Moffitt because of course Curry brings in sponsorship and Moffitt not running full truck points, right? He's going to get replaced most of the season. Haley Deegan was having a top 10 run. She comes home 13th. Good run for her. One driver that was kind of, there were some guys that didn't run super well. Matt Crafton, uh, had a very loose truck, did not have a super great run. So overall, it was a fine truck race. Let's get to the Cup race now, and I'm sure you've heard, if you're a NASCAR fan, there was a big controversy with a tire late in this. Let me explain that first, because it's gonna explain what happened kind of in this race. About 55 laps to go during green flag pit stops, Tyler Reddick had a uncontrolled tire, and it rolled out about 3 feet into the grass from the pit road. Right, it was in the middle of the grass. Well, no, it was like 3 feet away from pit road. And so NASCAR, in normal situations, would call the caution. They would call the caution, and they would retrieve the tire. They'd restart. No matter what, the caution was probably going to get called, which was a good call. However, no caution. About 15 laps went by, and note that there were two cars that hadn't pit yet. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. When the tire rolled out, Stenhouse pitted about 2 laps later, and Buescher stayed out about 15 laps, right, after the tire had rolled out. Chris Buescher did not pit till 15 laps after the tire rolled off, pits. NASCAR calls the caution 4 laps after that. Why? Why did they wait 20 laps to call the caution? Well, NASCAR said they wanted to wait for the pit cycle to cycle out. You're joking, right? NASCAR wants to wait for the pit cycle to cycle out to give no one an advantage, to give Stenhouse and Chris Buescher no advantage. So, because they don't want them to advantage this. So NASCAR sees this as a safety concern, which is fair, but they don't see it as enough of a safety concern that they wait. Straight out race manipulation. I'm not. It's straight out race manipulation, and it wasn't the only time NASCAR did it today. With about 7 to go, right? Because after that, there were cautions, precautions, lots of crashes, Stenhouse hit put Cindric in the wall. Bow spun out, took out both the JTG Dotery cars. Cautions happen. So that wasn't going to change anything. But at the end of this race, in the last caution, which happened with about, I think, 7 to go, NASCAR, instead of running up their 3 to 4 pace laps, right, restarting about 3 to 4 to go, NASCAR runs 6 pace laps for no reason, just so we can have a green-white checker. That's blatant race manipulation. You don't see F1 or IndyCar running pace laps for no reason because they want to have a 2-lap restart. If there's going to be 3 laps at the end of the race, there's going to be 3 laps at the end of the race. If there's 4, it's going to be 4. But NASCAR just straight out does not care. They just want entertainment over racing. It's ugly, is what it is. It's unbelievable. It's that we're even discussing this. So. Absolutely horrible. Let's go to top finishers, though. Kyle Larson led most of the day. He finishes 19th because on the last restart, he was second on the outside lane, pushing Ryan Blaney and kind of just pushed Blaney. Blaney kind of it looks like Blaney didn't even have a chance to make the corner, kind of spun out and took out him and Larson. Blaney finishes 21st. And that allowed for Kyle Busch to win. Kyle Busch took him all season last year, win at Texas in the third to last race. Comes home in the 11th race as a winner, wins the Bushy McBush Race 400. Kyle Busch. Coincidence? Who knows? It was also his birthday, too, so that was pretty cool. Kevin Harvick comes home second. Stewart Haas Racing, absolutely horrible, like always. At least this season. I mean, it's sad to watch Stewart Haas Racing. I mean, Richard Childress is beating out 3 of their 4 drivers. So, Brad Keselowski third, DiBenedetto fourth, Chase Elliott fifth, Truex sixth, Tyler Reddick great 7th place finish. He had a really fast car, especially early on in this race. He looked to be a challenger. Chris Buescher, despite he probably cautions helped him a lot. Those last lap cautions after NASCAR basically screwed over his pit strategy. He finishes 8th. Byron 9th, 9 top 10s in a row. Awesome job for William Byron. Definitely deserved it. Deserves these 9 top 10s. He's third in points. William Byron, the iRacer. So great job for him. Austin Dillon rounds out your top 10. That's his 5th top 10. He's 11th in points. Daniel Suarez 11th. Again, cautions helped him. Denny Hamlin, after hitting the wall not once but twice, finishes 12th. McDowell 13th. Chastain 14th. He was running up better, had to pit late in this race. And Kurt Busch 15th. Some cars that were not basically apparent all day. Logano was not apparent. Bowman was very slow. Austin Cindric, despite him finishing 22nd, like I had mentioned earlier, he got put in the wall by Ricky Stenhouse. He was going to probably be guaranteed a top 15. Bubba Wallace was running 11th, but ended up hitting the wall on a restart. Finishes 26th. That team continues to put anything on the board and really struggles. Also, Matt Mills finishes 38th for BJ McLeod Motorsports. I think BJ McLeod just needed the extra money because that car was extremely slow. So, that's what we are currently. Denny Hamlin continues to lead the points. He's 87 points over Martin Truex Jr. So the cutoff line is 12 points between Matt DiBenedetto and Kurt Busch. Yes, Kurt Busch is 12 points out, so he needs to get rolling. Reddick 18th, Stenhouse 19th, Newman 20th. So we'll see how this all turns out. we're 11 races in. We go to Darlington, which is always just it's very interesting racetrack. It's going to be a good race for sure. So that's going to do it for this race review. Remember, you can use code Soren72 to get free shipping off all orders $20 or more when you order from Circle B Diecast. Really helps the channel out. Save like $5 on shipping. I love using the code. Have already had people use it. So if you want diecast, use code Soren72. Also follow me on Twitter if you want at review Soren. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and goodbye.